Hi, welcome. I am working in my altered book. I'm going to be using a PM Artist Studio mask, and I'm in the mood to make a face. Surprise, surprise, but I really enjoy them. So I've got this ink that came with a dropper, but I found out that, and it's, by the way, the color is called avocado. It's supposed to mimic when you do avocado dyeing. So I'm just going to spray some over my mask because I just want some very subtle light background. And this is kind of a pinkish color. That looks good to me. I'm going to take this stencil. It's really a mask. I'm going to turn it over and press it on this side. Even if I don't use this side today, and this page, did I say it's been primed with gesso? Even if I don't use this side, it's just going to be nice to have it. Okay, this is Dylusions, and it's a mica spray. So it's called Crushed Grape, but I think the liquid is really quite clear, and it's just that the mica is kind of purple, and I want to add a few of these to it as well, to my background. And again, I'm just going for a subtle background. See, you can't even hardly see it, but there's shimmer. Carrie the Crafter is the one who designed this stencil for PM Artist Studios. Putting some on the other side as well. And I'm going to go ahead and turn this over again and just press it on here. And this is, not sinking in at all because I've got gesso on it, but that's fine. It still has marks. It still has interest. So I'm going to set this aside. I kind of lined my work area with some paper towels to kind of control the spray a little bit. Was I successful? Who knows, huh? Okay, that one doesn't fit on there. Sorry for my arm, but I really want to cover these sprays up before I end up making a mess. And we're going to hit this with the heat gun. So what I'm working in is this book that's called Flowers for a Friend. And I gessoed these pages. I prepared this book, and I have a video on how I prepare books to turn them into art journals. And these are books. Now, this one I bought at a thrift store. The thrift store will only keep books for so long, and then they pitch them. They don't keep books. They've told me books don't sell like they used to, and I believe it because we've all gone digital, and that's fine. But for me, I feel like I'm rescuing these books from just going to a landfill. Now, because I gessoed the page, you're not getting like absorption. It's kind of running around more, and that's fine to me. I don't mind it one bit. And because it's not acrylic, I can go ahead and use my heat gun and just be careful that I don't burn the acrylic below. But the watercolor, which these inks are just watercolor, very concentrated, that's all. And the shimmer, I don't know that you can see it. It shows up more once it's dry, but it's just, again, subtle. It's a background. I don't want it too up front in my face. Now, if there's some particularly stubborn places that won't dry, I'll blot them up. But I would like to get it as dry as I can because, let's face it, there's not that much color to begin with. Now, for me to take my heat tool and dry the back, it wouldn't do anything. I've got two sheets glued together, and that glue is going to act as a barrier. And then I've got gesso, that's going to act like a barrier. So I don't think I would get any drying action by drying the back. Not like if this was just plain paper and I didn't have gesso on it. So we're just having to be a victim of the heat gun. But it's drying. Yep, this side is drying faster than this side. That's all right. Okay, I'd say we're 90% there. Okay, off with the noise, and thanks for your patience while I did that. I'm just grabbing a paper towel, and I'm going to just blot the few little places on this side that I can see are still wanting to be wet. I think I've got it. This side still has some puddles. Well, if I don't blot them, I'll put my arm in them. So I'm going to go ahead and blot this side too. All right. So what's next? Well, I've got, this is a Prismacolor. The color's terracotta. And this is not the ones you see me use, but this is a water-soluble pencil. So I want to show you how you can draw and get your guidelines in, but then you don't, they won't necessarily have to stay. Do you know what I mean? So I'm going to go ahead and just draw an oval. Put my guidelines in. So this, between here and here, this is the very tip top of your head. This is your chin. Right in the middle of those, or as close as you can get, that's where your eyes go. Then halfway between here and your chin, that's the bottom of your nose. And then halfway between the bottom of your nose and your chin, that's where the mouth goes. So I've just wanted to add those guidelines in to help, because I know that people struggle with faces. Now I've got my regular old Prismacolors, the ones you've seen me use many times before. It's a 72 set. Some people say Prismacolors are just not what they used to be, and that may be. My set is very old, like at least 10 years. So I don't think I've got a new formulation. But if I do, I like them anyway. So I'm not changing right now. And I'm just laying out my trays here. There's 3 trays. And when I get all this beautiful color wrapped around me, I can get started. All right. So what am I going to do? Well, I want to do a face. So I'm going to start getting kind of face colors. How am I going to start with the eyes? Let's see. I think I'm going to grab, this is kind of a yellow ochre color. And I think this would be good. It's called Goldenrod. So I'm going to just put in the eyes. And one thing I recommend always, get a good metal sharpener. Some people use an electric sharpener to do their Prismacolors or their good colored pencils. I find for me, I just end up grinding them away too much. So I'm just going to put in these 2 little almond shapes. And don't worry, now an eye is about an eye width apart from each other. But if the right eye isn't like the left eye, they aren't. People's eyes are not the same. So even on the same head, don't worry about it. I'm going to create a nose with just 2 C shape and then a U shape. And then here's the nostrils. And there's my nose to get started. And I'm going to draw in a mouth. And let's see. We'll give her a little bit of a sideways kind of a smirk here. Yeah. Okay, that looks good to me. So I'm going to start, and your neck would start right behind that nose line, but we don't see it. It's behind our head. So I usually start at the mouth line-ish and then just kind of bring a throat out. And I've got her kind of this way orientation a little bit. So I'm just going to bring her throat, and yeah, I'm putting kind of a longer swan neck on her. I can always bring it up. And let's start with some eyes. What color for her eyes? Well, I'm going to start with a green. And it doesn't mean that her eyes are going to be green. It just means I'm starting with green. And I'm going to go ahead and fill it right on in. Now this is all in true mixed media style. We've started with, well, we've got a gesso background. We've got the spray inks, which are a watercolor. And then we've got now pencil, and there'll be more. All right, now let's maybe do something with those lips. I'm going to start light, and I can always go darker. This is called Pale Vermilion, and I'm just going to go right over the line that I made. And just add that in, and maybe she's got just a little bit more exaggeration at the bottom. Upper lip is always more color darker than the bottom lip. So I'm going to go over the bottom lip with just a little less color. Just like that. Now, I'm going to add some of this color in her eyes. Yep. Our eyes reflect what's around us. So I like to add colors to the eyes. All right. Now, how about some skin tone? I'm going to grab a skin tone. Maybe I want to start with some shadows. Yeah, I'm going to start with some shadows. So I want kind of a purpley color for a shadow color. So let's see what I have in a kind of a purple range. This is kind of a violet. What color is it called? Lilac. Okay. And I'm just going to start. Now your nose is pretty much shadow and contrast. That's your main part of your nose. Little shadow underneath your nose, little shadow under the lip, and maybe she's got a little bit of a cute chin. And let's see, her hair is going to create a shadow on each side. And then I sort of have to pick like what side, and I think I'm going to pick this side to be more in the shadow. So I'm kind of framing her face a little bit, and a little bit of shadow here. And then I can add more when I get to her forehead and all that, when I kind of decide her hair. And this side, little muscle structure there. And then under her chin is going to be shadowy. Good. And then the rest is going to be under her hair. All right. I'm not even going to start blending yet. What else? Well, I think maybe some pinkish cheeks. We've got plenty of pink going on here, but I'm just going to add a little bit of pinkish right into the shadow color of some cheeks. And I am not an expert when it comes to these pencils. Not at all. And so if you say you've watched a video where they did this entirely different, I believe you. But I just use them the way they kind of work for me. Okay. Now I'm going to pick kind of a peachy color. She's Caucasian. Why do I draw Caucasian? Because I'm Caucasian, and that's what I look at all the time. You know, I mean, when I look in the mirror. So that's just why. But I've drawn every race, but today I'm going with Caucasian. And now I'm blending right over all the colors that I have so far. And she's going to look pinky because of the pink in the background, but that's all right. I really don't mind. So what's it doing by you? I've got a blizzard. Wasn't predicted, but I live where you get a lot of lake effect snow. And so they can't always know, and they'll tell you that. With the lake effect, they don't always know for sure. So I'm just at home, being with you, enjoying the weather from my living room. and my studio here. And honestly, it's beautiful. It is. But I couldn't go to work last night, so there's that. Wow, I ran this one down. I did sharpen it, but I'm going to sharpen it again. That's why I like Prismacolors. They feel so buttery to me. All right. Ooh, we don't need to have all that on the desk. Okay. And filling in some more. I mean, she still needs eyebrows. She needs cosmetics. I'm just filling in some color. I wouldn't say that I've obliterated the pink, but I think she looks a different color than the background now. Okay. All right. Now, she needs some shading in. Let's see. I've got this sienna brown, and I'm just going to see about shading some of this in now. I'm just adding a little color here and there. Filling in the nostrils a little bit. They're kind of like sideways commas. I'm going right over her cheeks. I'm leaning back so I can just see her a little better. Yeah, okay. Now I'm going to add some of this color into her eyes. And some here at the top where her eyelashes and all would be shading it. I'm going to add some of this to her upper lip. And I'm purposely going up and down lines in her lips because that is the way, like, the texture of our lips is. Okay, I think that looks good. I think her nose looks very crooked, but that's okay. All right, now I'm going to work some more in her eyes. I'm going to grab a darker green, and this is called moss green. Is that what it is? It's, oh, Haas green. I wonder if it's Hacienda. I don't know. I'm going over all the colors, and I'm going in a starburst pattern because that's the pattern of our iris. And book is a little bouncy. Remember, it's an altered book, so you can't say, oh, well, that's not normal for a journal. Well, maybe if you buy a journal, that is a journal, but when you're using one like this, anything's possible. But that's part of the charm of the whole thing. It really is. I mean, I can still see words under here and everything else. I love it. I love it. All right, the whites of her eyes. I'm grabbing my Prismacolor white, and I'm going to whiten up the sclera. And I'm going to add some pink. Here's where I don't want it to look like she's got pink eye, but I want her eye to look alive. So I'm just putting a waterline in of the pink, and then the inner canthus, this inner part, I'm just giving it a little, and on the outer corner as well. Good. It looks to me like her eyes are shifting this way a little bit, which is cool. I'm going to grab a gray. And this is cool gray. And it's 70%. And I'm going over everything of the eye to add some shadow to her eye. And this is what will make her eye look more round instead of so flat. Now I'm going to go back to that white and kind of blend all this in. Just like that. Okay. I'm going to add a little white to her bottom lip. I'm just kind of merging all the colors. I'm going to do the same to the upper lip. And it's just kind of, again, blending everything out. Under here, just gonna give this all a good rub. This is where my white goes. You know, my white is the shortest pencil in the whole stack. But I'm just kind of blending these waxes that make up these Prismacolors. And just the friction of the white is melting them. I can feel them going creamier as I'm rubbing on top, which is good to me. All right. Okay. Well, I haven't picked a hair color for her yet, so maybe we should do that. How about a nice brown? To do brown, I'm going to start lighter. I'm going to start with, what is this? This is Cinnamon Lake, so kind of a reddish brown color. And I'm just gonna, holding the way back, and I'm just gonna bring a hairline with some flowing hair. And now I'm bringing it out. Wavy hair. I always think the hair helps bring the drawing to life, don't you think? And then maybe this side is a little even more flowing. And this side kind of would be curving in a little. All right. Now I'm going to grab another, something in the brownish shade. This is Burnt Ochre. And again, holding the way back. Filling in more. Yep. And give her a bit of a part there. All right, now I'm going to grab a darker brown. And this is dark brown. I'm going to start with her eyebrows. And I'm doing little back and forth and strokes, you know, like short eyebrows. Each individual hair is shorter. So I want that kind of a texture a little bit. And I'm going to give her a line of this brown. And this is really kind of the shadow of her eyelashes. Yep. That looks good to me. See if I can just kind of, yeah, soften this up a little. Yep, I like what that's doing. Now, these watercolors and those marks, they're just kind of vanishing with the wax because they're not as firm sticking as or anything. So I just think they're fine. All right, now let's give her a little eyeshadow. People are wearing pretty bold colors anymore, aren't they? Maybe I'll start with this blue, and this is a aquamarine. And we'll just give her a bit of a wing of her eyeshadow. Kind of like the one eye to be similar to the other eye. Okay, and maybe a little bit of a smoky eye. Maybe she brings this down here a little bit. Good. Now I want a really dark, like an indigo-y. There's black. I don't want black. It's so harsh. But I've got a really good dark blue. Is this it? That's violet. What's next to it? Indigo. All right. And here comes the eyeliner. Put a little wing out of that. And she put eyeliner all the way. Yep, I think those look hypnotic. Now, more brown hair. I'm going to grab another brown. And this is sienna brown. This is dark brown. Let's go with that. Holding it way at the back. I like the way all the colors kind of merge in. But you can still see individual strands. This has gotten waxy, so I'm just going to color it in just a little bit like that. I'm just smudging it a little. All right. Now, I'm going to get the black. I'm going to give her some eyelashes. But they mostly are kind of coming towards us, so you don't really necessarily see the ones that are in the middle here. So I'm just adding like a little bit of a black line there. And down below, again, the ones that are here are just going to be more like dots. And then maybe you'd see a little bit here. Yep, I like that just fine. Okay, I want more to her lips. So this is magenta. Top lip, bottom lip lighter. I'm liking this. Yep. I'm going to put a little bit of this on the top of her eye. Yep. And I'm going to put a little bit in this corner where I want that little bit of life to show. Yes. Now, I know I said that, you know, our lips, the lines go up and down, but you put your lipstick on left to right. So I never mind having just a little bit of that, but I'm going to darken this upper lip even more. Aw, she's kind of cute, isn't she? Okay, how about a little bit of shimmer on her lips? I like that. I'm going to see if I can add a little shimmer in her eye. Okay. I want to get the color off. I dropped all my paper towels. I got a scratch sheet of paper, and I'm just going to rub it on there. There we go. Okay. Because I picked up some color, and I want to get the whites. All right, where's that black? Are you black? Yep. She needs some pupils. That gives her life, doesn't it? Yep. Yep. I'm going to go ahead with the black and add a few strands. And a few little wild ones. There. Now I'm going to darken up here a little bit. And now I'm a little bit less, but still darkening up right here by her face. Same here, where her hair would be just a little bit darker. Dark enough that you're not going to see like individual strands. There we go. A couple strands here. I'm going to go ahead and give her eyebrows just a little more punch. And I'm going to, I have to be so careful with eyelashes because I can just really make a mess out of them. I like her very, very much. I'm going to grab a white gel pen. Here's more mix to the mixed media. And grab a piece of paper and scribble it off a little bit. Dot, dot, line, line. I like that. Little shine here. Yep. Little shine here. Good. I'm going to add just a little bit of some right where the edge of her nose would be. Little shine there. Okay, I want to add the ever so slightly small amount of a brown color. I don't want it, because that's terracotta. I don't want red. What is this? An ochre? Burnt ochre, yeah. I just want to add a little bit of shadow under her nose, because we all have that. And again, little there. All right. Well, doll baby, I think you look beautiful. How do you feel? I hope you feel beautiful. Okay, so we got another background and we did a drawing on top, and I like it. I do. I'm gonna grab a pen. I hope you enjoyed this. Please consider subscribing to my channel. It helps so much. You've been here this long. Go ahead and hit that like, share the video with your friends. I look forward to seeing you in another video. Bye now.